Hi, this is James the Comic Book Shifu, and welcome to Read More Comics. It's been a minute since my last long form video, and like many of you, my time has been taken up with the holidays, with work, with family and friends. As a school teacher, the build up to winter break is very exciting for everyone. And since the holidays have now passed, both Christmas and New Year's, I wanted to spend a moment on the beginning of a new year and share kind of an extravaganza of pulls and other pickups that occurred in the latter part of December. A good chunk of this, and to give you some idea of the enormity of this right here are my pulls, except for one. That was actually a Kickstarter I backed. And then I happened to have a chance last week to get some books from another LCS in the area. This was actually a combo gaming comic book store. It has a nice organized array of back issues, and so I got a chance to go through their discounted boxes. Okay, but let's get to that later. Let's start with my polls. Wait a minute, one book beforehand. This is a Kickstarter book. I used to belong to a Facebook group, and for those of you who aren't familiar with the term FOMO, fear of missing out, FOMO is a real thing as a collector. I got into supporting some Kickstarter comic books because that's what everybody else was doing. And since then, while most of that desire has been extinguished, there are a few creative teams that I do follow. And this one right here is actually a British creative team. I think it's Mad Face Comics out of England. This is the second series that I've been supporting. This is called The Ghost System. It's supposed to be some sort of cyberpunk type book. When I was in college, I loved the RPG Shadowrun, and so cyberpunk is near and dear to my heart. So I backed this. This came in about middle of the month. I haven't read it yet, and I usually put like all the backer awards right back here. A little disappointed, didn't even get any stickers. Anyway, so this is Ghost System by Mad Face Comics, I believe. Anyway, rest are my polls. I've organized them already. That way we can kind of go through them in some semblance of order. I curated them by whether or not they were an indie, Marvel or DC, and then alphabetized them. First one from Boom Studios. I got the ash can for this last month. Haven't read it. I am so far behind in my reading. This is Animal Pound issue number 1. I went with the Scotty Young variant. This wasn't originally the book I ordered. I think I ordered the B cover, but then I saw this on Instagram, and I just thought it was a really cool book. I think cat and dog books is a niche in the comic book community that hasn't really been explored a lot outside of, what was the one? Stray Dogs. Stray Dogs, excellent read. Yeah, that was my dog. She just knocked over a bunch of books that I precariously stacked on an ottoman behind you. But the show must go on. Next up, we have G.I. Joe Real American Hero. This is issue 302. I've actually gone back onto the secondary market, mostly eBay, to pick up the beginning of this because 301, which was Image's first publication of G.I. Joe since Skybound got the IP, continued the arc that was in IDW. So it kind of just dropped you in the action. Didn't have any clue what was going on. So I went back and I picked up, I think it was the 5 issues before it. So here's issue 302. A lot of nostalgia feels there. Same with this next one. This is Masters of the Universe, Forge of Destiny, issue number 4. As a child of the 80s, big fan of Masters of the Universe when it came out. I was, like many of the kids, one of those that could not afford any of the action figures, and so only got them as birthday presents or Christmas presents, and I didn't have any of the vehicles, but this series right here, Forge of Destiny, feels like an episode of, or a series of episodes in this series. So, and I think this is the second series. They had Master of the Universe Revelation, which was dovetailing with the Netflix show by Kevin Smith. So, issue number 4. I read the first 3 issues. It's fun. We have Red Sonja issue number 6. I'm going with the Bjorn Berens covers now. This has been a fun read as well. I think this volume of Red Sonja would be a good one if someone was looking to kind of dip their toes into it. It's only 6 issues in. The art's on point. It's a very different read than some of the other Red Sonja books, where it's kind of presenting this problem that she's having to work through and not understanding everything that's going on. Next is Captain America. This is the beginning of the Marvel books, for those of you that are paying attention. Captain America issue number 4. This has been a fun run too. It's kind of looking at Captain America as just a normal guy instead of a superhero, and what he's doing and how he's managing things. All the while, some bad guys are doing bad things in the background. We have Cap Wolf and the Howling Commandos, issue number 3. Haven't read this yet. But 3 is usually my target to begin reading a series. This is a facsimile. This is Giant Size Superstars featuring the Fantastic Four, and it's a Hulk thing battle. Really do enjoy facsimiles. I've shared that before because it gives me, as a collector with a modest budget, an opportunity to have books that are outside of my budget. And I love that they keep all the ads and every detail as it was originally, except for the size, of course. This, I think, is a Silver Age book, and it's not obviously that size. We have Miles Morales, issue number 13 and 14. This is the beginning of Gang War. I'm really not into this event. The build-up really hasn't engaged me. The last time I got into a Spider-Man event that was more Spider-Man centric, I felt Miles Morales was one of many characters, which is okay. But Miles Morales is why I'm into Spider-Man right now. And so I'm kind of just going to focus on the Miles Morales books. So we have issue number 13, and then I got the Inyuk Lee Hobgoblin cover for issue number 14. This I got because it really got me into collecting X-Men again. When Bendis was doing Uncanny X-Men, and he started with All New X-Men, which had the original team transported from the past to the present day, that was my first kind of dipping of the toe into modern X-Men books. And they had this one shot. I got the variant cover for this. I think this is a Mark Brooks cover. Anyway, this is the original X-Men, which is continuing that story. Like, apparently they are still hanging around the 5 time traveling X-Men. I don't know if anybody's been doing anything. Next, we have Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy. I picked up 2 copies of this. We got issue number 4. I've been pulling the Ron Lim covers because I like the trade dress and the box in the corner. It just hits me in the feels. And then I got the Peach Momoko cover. I think her style really works for this Silver Surfer cover. Next up, we have Timeless. I got the Alex Ross gatefold cover. So we can only see the front. If you can imagine, it's on the back, and actually it's a gatefold. So there's another one. The Timeless books are... And this is something what I think Marvel started a couple years back, where they would come out with a one-shot issue that would foreshadow some of what they were planning for the year. And I thought it was a really clever idea to kind of tell some interesting stories and also build some excitement for where they're going next. And it definitely should be something that other publishers, TC, might consider doing. So I always pick up these, and Alex Ross is a no-brainer for me. And then last of my Marvel books before we get into their Star Wars stuff, I looked through the back issues at my LCS, and I needed this book for Uncanny X-Men. I had some other books too, but this one kind of helped complete kind of a contiguous, is that the right word? Anyway, helped me with my run. We got Uncanny X-Men Volume 1, Issue 536. And I think this is a Terry Brooks. No, it's a Dodson cover. Or Terry Dodson, sorry. Love Terry Dodson. Awesome artist. Okay, next we have Star Wars. We have the High Republic issue number 2. This is volume 3, which connects with volume number 1 through their little mini event, their mini series Shadows of Starlight. And here we have issue number 3 for that. This has been pretty good. We have Dark Droids. I've been getting the variant covers with kind of the purple lightning. I wish the trade dress matched what they had in solicitations, because it would have been more of a virgin variant or a minimal trade dress like DC does. We have issue number 5. I went with Darth Vader. And then we got Dark Droids, Darth Vader, issue number 41. This has been a really fun event too. We have Mandalorian issue number 7. Went with this variant right here, showing Mando's helmet. And then, like Timeless for the normal Marvel books, they do the same for Star Wars, and that is called Revelations. This is the second year they've done this. And I went with this variant that has Jango Fett on it. And again, this is an awesome kind of way to dip your toe into Star Wars, because it's going to foreshadow what's going to be going on the entire year, and you can decide what you want to get into. All right, so now on to my DC books. I'm going to kind of chunk these up. First, we have Batman Beyond Neo-Gothic. This is issue number... Sorry, have to use my bifocals. Issue number 6. I've been getting the cardstock covers. This is the B cover. And then we have the facsimile. Facsimile. Death in the Family, where what if Jason Todd had lived. And then, last of my Batman books, we have Batman and Robin, which has been a really fun read. Issue number 4, and I went with the Santa cover. Homage to, was it Batman number 1? Or Batman and Robin number 1 from the Morrison run, I think. We have Godzilla, or Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. This is issue number 3. I think this is like the B cover. Yep, B cover. Just a moment. Need to make some more space. We have Penguin, issue number 5. This is the B cover. This is a really fun book. It's really just this crime drama that involves the Penguin in the Gotham underworld. Highly, highly recommend it. Tom King is knocking it out of the park in this series. This is only issue number 5. I think it's going to be a maxi series with 12 issues, which, as I've shared before, I think plays to Tom King's strength. We have Superman Lost. This is issue number 9. We're getting close to the end. Awesome Superman book. I don't think it's in continuity, which is okay, because I think telling a great story is better than staying in continuity. And who's this? Priest has been killing this story. So if you want to get involved in Superman, this might be a book to check out too. I typically pick up the seasonal books that DC comes out with. Try to do the same thing with Marvel, but they're not as regular about it. So this is DC's "'Twas the Might Before Christmas." Love the cover on this. We've got Batman, Batmite down at the bottom, Superman, Harley Quinn, Batwoman. I'm not sure. I think this right here is supposed to be Lex Luthor. Anyway, these are awesome because they're anthologies, and so you get in it. Let's see, it's 80 pages, costs a little bit more. Okay, this is $9.99, but it's 80 pages of content, so it's 4 times the normal book. And in that, you're going to get a series of stories. It's a nice thing about an anthology. You know, there's going to be 8-ish stories. If you don't like something, you can just move on to the next thing. If you don't like the art with one thing, you can move on to the next thing. And what I've enjoyed about this is DC, I think, lets some up and coming artists and creative teams try some things out. So there we go. DC's The Night Before Christmas. Wonder Woman issue number 4. This is another Santa cover. Love this cover. Tom King has been killing it on Wonder Woman. Really has kind of revitalized, I think, the IP. I think Wonder Woman was one of the trinity of Superman, Batman, and her that has been kind of left to out to dry. I think Batman has gotten a lot of attention because DC makes money on Batman books. I get that. Superman, same thing. I think Superman is a popular character. I think Wonder Woman can have that same energy, but you have to have a creative team that are not just the writer, but the artist that can tap into who Wonder Woman is, can tell a compelling story that isn't just about someone who has a strong sense of morality like Superman does. Okay, you need to differentiate it because Wonder Woman is a strong character on her own. And Tom King's been doing this with kind of a mystery involving a Amazon who murdered some men. So really good story. Here is another great story. This is one that I trade weight for. I've been collecting Tom Taylor's Nightwing. This is volume 4. Okay, and I get the hardback, so they all look the same. Highly recommend this series. I think Tom Taylor is one of those writers right now that can do no wrong. Everything that he's been turning out has been good. The rest of this, and then we're going to wrap it up, is books I picked up from this other comic book store in the area. It's right around the corner from an LCS, Buy Me Toys in Mishawaka. This is the Warehouse Comic Games and Cards. They have a really modern layout to it. It was very well organized. Lots of space for those people who like collecting cards or statues. They had an area for playing games like Magic and other collectible card games. And then kind of in the middle, behind some partitions, they had a comic book area that was organized into kind of bargain bins. And then the rest of the back issues. Along the back wall, they had modern books. They would be the current modern releases. So really well organized. A lot of slabbed books. The person, and this is supposed to be kind of a group business now. The person that runs the comic book portion of the business has had some comic book stores in other parts of where I live in the next town over in Mishawaka. And I stop in there occasionally because he does carry a nice selection of back issues that I can't often find in my primary LCS at Buy Me Toys. So here we go. This is what I picked up, except for the last 3. Put those aside. These were all in his, they weren't dollar bin, they were $2 bin, but he had a deal going on where I think you bought 3 and you got 1 free or something like that over the holidays. So the first one, and this is for my Fantastic Four run, we got Fantastic Four 645, and then also Fantastic Four issue number 15. Okay, I purchased these on accident. This is where updating your CLZ app is really helpful for those of you who are new to the channel. CLZ is an app that lets you track books you have in your collection, but also books you want. And so when I looked at the cover, because it wasn't in my CLZ, but it was something I knew I wanted, I missed out on a detail. This is Original Sins, which is kind of an anthology of short stories that is a part of the Original Sin event that occurred, I think it was about 5 years ago. Well, I want the Original Sin event in floppies, one, because I want to read it, but also it connects to the current Fantastic Four and actually the last one, Dan Slott's Fantastic Four run. So anyway, I bought these, and now after doing some reading and realizing they were the wrong books, I'm going to keep them. I've heard some really good things about the stories. I just need 2 more issues. So anyway, so we got Original Sin number 2, number 4, And then number 5, we have a couple X-Men books to help me with my Uncanny run. We got issue 501. And then this is a part of the Bendis run. This is issue 6. The last 3 were not in the bargain bins. These, though, were reasonably priced, and looking at the covers, the colors still pop. They have some wear considering these last books are approaching 50 years old. So we have Conan the Barbarian, issue number 35, and issue number, those were out of order, 26. So sub 100 level Conan books. And then issue number 119. And I think the issue number 26 was a $10 book, and the other 2 were $5 books, which honestly, for their condition, seemed pretty reasonable to me. All right, so thank you all for those of you that stuck through this. This wanted to be my holiday extravaganza of everything that I've been collecting as we built up to Christmas and New Year's. I'm going to be reflecting over the next couple weeks and sharing it in another long form video. My comic book goal for 2024. I am a subscriber. Highly recommend checking out Reggie Collects. He's on Instagram. He also is on YouTube. And he just posted something earlier today that I've been thinking about over the last few days. What is my collecting goal for this next year? Because as I'm looking at it, like some of the books that I purchased at the warehouse, while it does help support my vague ephemeral goals of completing certain runs, if I instead leveraged both my effort and my resources to completing maybe a specific run or going for a specific book that was a little higher dollar, I think that would help me kind of enjoy an aspect of collecting that I haven't really dipped my toe into. So that'll be coming up in a couple weeks. Thank you all for watching. If you did like what I shared, please do like, subscribe, and share the video down below. And Happy New Year.